All right, my lovely friends, it is still Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. Let's start off with the markets. Finished mixed. Dow Jones Industrial Average put on a slight loss. S&P 500 slight gain. NASDAQ slight gain. Okay, whatever. I think you get it. But let's talk about this. This is what I want to do. I'm going to read a few things to you. So right now, we have an eviction crisis, which I just learned about a couple of weeks ago. I did speak about this. Rising homelessness, unaffordable housing, people cannot afford to buy new cars anymore, and consumer loan defaults are rising. I'm not making this stuff up. This is the truth. Yet, we are still being told the consumer is strong. Now, I want you to keep that in mind, because we heard from this lovely gentleman today, the CEO of Bank of America, Brian Moynihan, and this is what he is saying. Okay, now just think of what I just said. He's the CEO of Bank of America. Now, he says the consumer is strong. And do you know why? Because they continue to take out loans. Yeah, it sounds kind of off to me too. But apparently, more debt is a good thing. More slaves are just created out of thin air. It's insane. It's really the truth. All right, let's just run over a few other lovely things here. Oh yeah, by the way, going back to auto sales. So the projection is, here, I'll just read it to you. U.S. auto sales are expected to fall to their slowest pace in more than 4 years when automakers report first quarter numbers this week. That's just because the consumer is so strong, because, Mr. Moynihan just said they were. Right? Why would he lie? And then Larry Kudlow, once again, this was a beautiful thing. It really was, honestly. It was miraculous. Stocks were down, not a lot, but they were down earlier. And then Larry Kudlow comes out and says, China trade talks are making good headway. And then seriously, I posted that. And then let me see, what's my next post here? About 15 minutes later, stocks started to rebound, almost like it was a coordinated thing. Very, very interesting. Now, here's what I want to talk to you mostly about here. It's crude oil. Now, I don't know another guy who's been talking about crude as much as me lately, but you've been watching it go higher and higher and higher. Let me close this page. Well, that's exactly what's been going on here, and I've explained the mechanism to you. They prop up crude oil. Once they do that, the energy sector gains, the financial sector gains, pulls the stock market higher. So here's the game that this was just reported on. The investment banks, again, think about the source here. The investment banks themselves are now upping their forecasts with regard to crude oil. So what does that mean? I mean, you got to be brain dead not to know. It should be very obvious to you. You can expect crude oil to continue to move higher as the investment banks themselves are buying the crude oil that they're, saying is going to continue to go higher. And what is that going to do? Energy sector higher, financial sector higher, stock market higher. You can't make this stuff up. You can't do it. It's impossible. But that's where we're at. So, and then, of course, there's the rate cut that's coming again to subsidize the stock market. So here's the deal. The middle class, you, more than likely, are going to continue to subsidize crude oil, boost the value of energy companies, the financial sector as a whole, which will push stocks higher, and you're just going to have to keep shelling out more money, more cash out of your pocket for crude oil. That's what you're going to have to do. Sorry to tell you that. And then when rates get cut, because that's coming, if you think you're earning nothing on your interest earning accounts now, well, you're going to be earning even less. So you get robbed just two ways right there. And then, of course, there's no inflation either. So that's why they're telling us they're not raising rates. But they're really not raising rates because our economy sucks. But they have to tell you how great it is, despite what I read to you at the beginning of this video. And you can't make it up. It's impossible. You really can't. You have to understand where you are. This is the Twilight Zone. Welcome to it. All right, with that said, I'll see you in the morning.